Yo, it's Dave. Yes, I left Cali behind. The Dave Night and Cali Show, one of a kind. Sundays, 5 p.m. Central. Truth you can. That's for more real people, real talk. Tune in, we'll explore.
Damn.
Yeah.
Somebody. Yes,
Wow.
we're just rolling up in here like a Rolo and a, you know, just
Yeah.
a turd.
Well, I hope everybody's having some really good weather out there. You know, we're
Yeah.
at about 17 degrees right now. Everything's white. Doesn't look like Texas to me.
Yeah. Well, Texas is predominantly white. Well, no, it isn't anymore. The
No, it's
demographics
not.
have changed due to immigration.
How about say no? It's not. It's a minority white state.
Yeah, it is minority white. Yeah, but yeah, we were just having some power flickering whenever right before we went on. I don't know if it's going to go out or not, but it doesn't matter because my internet is running off of my phone, and I just might be dark in here. But that'd be fine. I'll just be.
You'll still be there, but it'll just be dark.
Well,
Oh, I've got.
you'd probably lose your mic.
It's hooked direct. It's hooked directly to the computer. Like it doesn't. I don't have that soundboard anymore.
Yeah.
I got rid of it.
Oh, okay.
So, but I do have I've got if you're watching my YouTube videos, I'm a generator collector. So I have like just,
He's got a warehouse
You know,
full of them.
I do, yeah. Oh, really cool vintage stuff. Right now, the house is hooked to a 1965 or 4 military generator, with a big 4-cylinder flathead Continental engine hooked up. So, kind of wanting to use it a little bit, you know. I'm like, let's see what this thing can do. Anyhow, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I got what you sent me, John, but I don't know if I can get it to fit on the screen through the WhatsApp. But
What did John send you a bunch of Lizzo
he sent
content?
me that Trump just sent out a notice statement to all the governors of the states, but basically talking directly to Tim Walz and Jacob Frey about cooperating with the administration.
Yeah. Well, here, I mean, here's John sent me this. I don't know why this is in his feed, but either way, this is that Antifa leader, that dude, Antifa. Yeah, he's the one that's been going around threatening everybody. Say, everybody needs to get together and fire off some guns at them ICE agents. And he's like,
Hey, William, turn your camera a little bit, because when you look on the other screen, it's split in half, dude.
I'll fix it. Got you. Hold on.
Wait.
I do this all year, all the time. I'm out and about like this because I do it for me all year, all the time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm a fucking blue collar fuck of a dude all day long, and then at least a few times every week.
Oh, it cut you off. I found it. Sorry about that. I don't know how I did that. Let me not show that. Not showing. I don't know what it's. I'm having real difficulties there.
Give me side eyes in public when I do this. The rest of the fucking year, who mumble to themselves and fucking have all kinds of things to say behind my back. All of you, fuck off.
So this guy's melting down because all of a sudden all of his images have now surfaced where he is he's a like, not only is he gay is fine, it doesn't matter, I don't care if everybody's gay, but this guy is going around, and he supposedly was married, he's got a child, and so he's raising this child in this like crazy, I mean, just not good for kids, and Tim Walz put out a statement, by the way, on this recent ICE shooting.
I don't tell it without stopping just that my lifestyle. I don't tell it but too late. I don't even know if you go without the beginning.
Thank you, Tim Walz, for that enlightening comment. Yes. Anyhow, that's just kind of an update of what's going on right now in Minneapolis. So Yeah.
Let me try that thing again. I don't know what's wrong on my end. It's just not working right. But try it again. Can you guys see that?
It's coming up. Because when it's
There
yeah,
you
we
go.
got that. Yeah,
Really
yeah.
small. I don't know how the heck you would be able to read that though.
You would have to reach over there on your screen and do that thing where you expand it.
Yeah, I know, but it's still not big enough. I got a full screen on it, and let me go over to that tab. See if I can.
I
make
was
it.
always told that size doesn't matter though, but I guess it really does.
Yeah, it's the way it was sent to me. There's no full. There, how's that? Is that any better?
Hey everybody! Waving a hand at all the people in the comment sections. We need peace. Mishka Fellner.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't seen them in quite a while.
Yeah, been a minute. Good to see you.
Yeah,
Wow.
been a minute.
And my beautiful wife, she's with her, like, what do you call those, super boobs, because she's pregnant, about to have a baby in about 4 weeks. And so that's really that's an amazing thing right there. And she was out there today helping me pull a motor out of a Jeep. I was like, look at this. Yeah.
Okay. Well, John, I it's not big enough for me to read on my end.
What is it? Can you give us a little bit of a thing? What is it about,
It's
John?
actually, it's a letter to Governor Walz and Mayor Frase to turn over all the criminal aliens that are currently incarcerated in their state prisons and jails. So they want them, and then along with the illegal criminals, and can't hardly make it out. It looks like active warrant known for criminal history immediately deported. Basically, he's going along, and then he's telling all Democrat governors and of all the states that he wants them to work with the federal government. I can't quite make out that other paragraph; it's just too small. Something about common sense. You know, you read it, John. What's it telling you?
Yeah, it's basically giving them ultimatums. In other words, this is the right thing to do. In other words, they're coming straight out. He's coming straight out and saying, look, we want, we're talking about criminals. These people that are in their jails and whatever are criminals. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the jails. And, plus the others. And he said, there's not a single reason why they would not want to be for America. In other words, this is, for America. We're trying to clean up our country. And why they don't want to cooperate with this is beyond, consideration. And therefore, he's basically given an ultimatum. He doesn't say what he's going to do, but it's bottom line on it. Yeah.
He also demanded. I actually enlarged it on my screen so I could look at it and read it. But one of the I read most of it. One of the paragraphs that he also had in there is he wants Congress to do a bill to get rid of sanctuary cities. Because he's saying they're the direct reason this is happening and so on and so forth. Because if you look what happened during Obama when they were getting people out of here and deporting them, they didn't have sanctuary cities at the time. And of course, the media keeps on saying, why didn't we see this happen during Obama or Bush or Clinton? Well, there wasn't sanctuary cities at the time.
Right.
And Democrats would work with them to actually get these people deported.
Mm-hmm. They hadn't gotten the letter yet to have this be a thing. It hadn't gotten to that point of the globalist attack on the Americans to where this would be where we're at right now. That phase hadn't became a thing. These are all set by the.
The 2030 agenda was still being worked on at the time. Yeah,
exactly. Yes. So a lot of the stuff hadn't been hammered out yet. So they were still kind of going by the old school protocol of, somewhat secure borders and things. Because in all honesty, they needed the American people to be on the side of a lot of these people to stair step a more in-depth infrastructure of protecting illegals, because at the time you didn't have but a handful of actual people willing to go with this globalist agenda here. And so until they knew that their numbers were up enough and not only in federal Congress people, but statewide attorney generals and judges, they didn't want to push this illegal agenda that far yet. So yes, they went old school. Now after really.
Well, here's what I want to see happen. I want to see Republicans do something similar. Just pick something out of the blue, like gay marriage, and have sanctuary cities with no gay marriage. How about that?
Okay, I'm fine with that.
just see how the Democrats freak out about it. You know, just be like, I'm going to give you your own medicine. Screw it. Bah.
Yeah,
Give it a
yeah,
shot.
yeah. Well, you know, and if you really, you know, that's a really good analogy. Except for the only argument I would have on that is because it is a little bit lopsided because, you know, by sanctuary cities where there's no gay marriage. So just do sanctuary cities where we have specially designed places for real conservatives. You know, that way the gay people don't get upset.
Well, you already have that. That's called a gun range.
Yeah, well, that's close. So I pulled this up.
Wait. Let's go back to that guy that just got shot that had a gun. And then, of course, I saw a clip where they showed he unholstered his gun.
Yes.
Once he started to run. So right there's a reason to shoot. I mean, it was unholstered. They had every right. But, you know, the thing is, you know, the gun people, the anti-gun people are going to come out, you know, talk about guns. But yet here we have supposedly, I would imagine, a liberal gun owner, which is kind of a conflict of their ideology, you know, what they campaign against.
It really depends on what kind of liberal we're talking about, though. Hell, some of my in-laws are liberal, like my wife's cousin. He owns more guns than I do.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
And
I think that's why it's hard to put people in a box, you know.
Yeah, he's pro 2A, and his mom, which she passed away a few years ago, she was anti-abortion. She was a devout communist, and she was anti-abortion, which is strange, you know. But but then you got someone like if you look at Venezuela before, you know, Maduro got out of there, he was anti-abortion, he was anti-gay marriage. I mean, but he's a communist.
Yeah. Yeah, so you just never know. Hey, Stormbringer. All right.
Stormbringer, what's going on? Well, communism doesn't, you know, there's several tiers of communism. And now, you know, and what's weird is if you look at back in some of the era of the Hitler era, there was some weird cross-dressing, blurred lines of sexuality way back then. Very strange things were going on in that era that aren't really talked about in our history books because it's just something they wouldn't just bring to the table. But I do notice that and like, you know, China's communist, but they don't do gays and transgenders and stuff. So basically, I think that like if you go communist and then you're pushed a gay transgender agenda, these mother truckers really have it out for you. They want your society completely, not just a little bit destroyed, but like.
I agree with you. The thing is, it's an alternate ideology. That's the problem. It's almost See, communism is more like a religion than it is actually an ideology when it comes to political values. And what they see is something like gay marriage and stuff like that. They see that as a conflict of the state not having control. They want complete state control of things like that. So that's
so if you're giving people too many freedoms to do that, I got you. That's very intuitive. Matt and I were before I went live with Dave and all of you. I called Matt up today because I am very excited and ecstatic and the action of our Department of Justice because Pam Bondi has now overextended her Department of Justice capabilities and she has wrote a strongly worded letter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
To Tim Walz. Guys, I know that's heavy stuff, breaking news. But and you know, I'm having a hard time containing myself, so I'm so excited to hear that.
It's unbelievable. Well, William, if I can interject something, so we got a few people out there. Christmas, I got a gift from YouTube. They took my channel. They took America to Brazil. So I've got a new channel. It's Dave. Is showing up there underneath me at all? Because I can't see. It's called the Swamp Channel. All runs together. If you put that little insignia in front of it, it'll pop right up.
It popped up a little earlier for me. I couldn't help it.
Right.
Just, you know.
There we go. There we go. There
Yeah.
we go.
I was talking about the jail.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, but so here's Pam Bondi. I woke up this morning and was thumbing through the twatters because I always kind of just check on the status quo of things. You know, actually, I kid you not. I get up in the morning and I'll thumb through like some conservative news sites, and then I'll thumb through twatters, and I'm hoping that I'll hear like, you know, a real arrest go on. Like, you know, I'm like, wow, oh my gosh, it's the thing. I'm just, and to this day, I still have this optimistic view that something will happen, but unfortunately, this is what I got.
Rape, homicide, manslaughter. That's who they're trying to protect in Minnesota. I do not understand these people. We sent Governor Walz a very strong letter today. We had been working on this letter. We got it out saying that he better support President Trump. He better support the men and women in law enforcement, because if he doesn't, we are. And that's what we're doing right now.
Whoa. And I said, okay, all right. Now, you know, I learned a long time ago, don't just jump. I said, I had to ask Groke. I said, Groke, is this a dub or AI video? And then Groke goes back and says, nah, this is real, dude. I'm sorry. I was actually, Groke felt bad for me, man. Which, you know, I was like, no, man, this is real. And I'm sorry. Wish I could tell you otherwise. I thought that, I was like, there's no way that because everybody that goes in, whenever Pam Bondi does some kind of weird thing on TV, they're like, come on, arrest somebody, you know, such and such and such, or, you know, strongly worded letter Pam Bondi and all this stuff. And whenever she went out and done that, I was like, no fucking way. But, and Matt has some details about some of the arrests that were supposed to have taken place, some judges and stuff.
Well, before I do that, dude, Tim Walz actually made fun of that letter.
Did he? Yeah, I don't blame him. I would too. I was telling Matt, I was like, if I was a criminal right now, I would steal everything. I would just run the table on these people because I would know that nothing would happen. There's nothing in the world that would stop me as a criminal. If I was a criminal and I wanted to do it, I would do it now. I would just run through everybody's.
Well, if you could throw that up for me, Dave. And
I'm sorry.
I got the video. It's hilarious.
Several demands, I guess you would call them, regarding sanctuary cities, regarding fraud, and voter rolls. Your response to that, is there anything you can do to meet the Trump administration, at least part of the way, to try to turn this?
Well, first of all, it's not a serious attempt, and the Attorney General's in that. And I would thank the local folks and Commissioner Snell. Thank you to you and your team over there. In that letter, they talked about, you know, you need to hand people over who are in your jails. They're taking credit for people that we've had in jail for a long time. We always hand them over, and the commissioner very clearly. So they're lying. They're lying. This has nothing to do with fraud, as the Attorney General said. They're not sending us forensic accountants, and these are things that have been we're dealing with now and have been for quite some time. So look, it's not a serious attempt to get at this. The way to fix this is get these folks out of here. We've continued to work with them. They asked us for these numbers. We provided them. We continue to show, and they're not serious. And look, I think everybody understands what the last request was, totally unrelated to anything on the voter files. This is, again, as the Attorney General said, Donald Trump telling everybody that the election was rigged, who started all this nightmare for America, has nothing to do with it. And I would just give a pro tip to the Attorney General. There's 2 million documents in the Epstein files we're still waiting on. Go ahead and work on those.
Damn. You know what? He's fucking right, though. Yeah. Yeah. You know, that is like, that's epic. And the thing is I don't blame him a bit for saying that, because I'm with him on that. I hate to say I agree with Tim Walz 100%. Like, you know, I mean, as far as like,
he might be on
it. I don't. They didn't have very many young boys on there, as far as I know, in the Epstein. Mostly it was just girls, so I don't think you have to worry about Tim Walz too much.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, go ahead, sir.
Well, I was going to ask you, have you guys been keeping up on the the signal messaging and so forth.
Yeah. I was gonna. William kind of opened it up for that. What's going on in Minnesota when it comes to arrest of Don Lemon? Right? Did you hear what the appellate court did there? The appeals court. All right, the appeals court. First thing, the appeals court has 3 judges. One's an Obama appointee. The other 2 are Trump appointees. The two Trump appointees, circuit judges on the panel said Trump DOJ had a probable cause to arrest Don Lemon, and the other 4 defendants that they have asked for arrest warrants, but they could obtain those arrest warrants some other way other than through their court. So pretty much what they're saying is, we agree with you. They need to be arrested, but this is politically charged. We're staying out of it. You're going to have to go through some other means, like a general or through a. They tried through a magistrate. That didn't happen. So because he got a phone call or something happened. So they're probably going to have to get a grand jury to actually do it.
Wow.
Which that'll take months.
Yeah.
And well, that'll actually take months, and it also take action. And we don't have time, and we got Pam Bondi, so
yeah. Well, we got enough citizen journalists out there bringing stuff out in the open.
Doesn't do any good. Doesn't do any good.
Oh no, that's Signal Gate.
It gets people to where people can see what's going on. With
the Signal Gate stuff's pretty good.
All that stuff coming out on Signal, and the representative, state representative, actually going to a town hall meeting and talking to people, trying to generate a group of people to be actually agitators to go after ICE. I mean, it was no secret. They were doing it in broad daylight.
Yeah, the thing is, the person who started this thing worked for Tim Walz. This is directly connected to him.
Oh, well, he's even in some of this chat information there. A lot of high ups in the local government are in that chat. And there's this one gal that she's like, I guess she's been doing this for years, and they've got it down to a science. They have people that are assigned to patrolling certain areas. It's all blocked off to where everybody's assigned to a colored square of the city, and they're supposed to travel around and be on the lookout. Then they have people that are on the ground, on the foot, people who go and check license plates to find out who these vehicles belong to and so forth. I mean, it's quite detail of how they're running this. This is not some fly-by-night grassroots development that just happened overnight. This thing's being funded. It's got to have this kind of, I almost want to ask, well, how much are they getting paid?
I know of like, if it's any group that funds them, like Indivisible and all that. And I read some of their emails and some of their recruiting information that's online posted. It's up to $200 a day, which is actually really good money. I mean, that's
I should go up there.
Yeah, I know. I can't at my business. I run a repair shop, and it's not that easy. I mean, I might not make $200 a day. Just depending upon what kind of jobs come in. It might be a several day jobs, and it might be some days I don't take any money at all. These people are getting paid $200 a day just to go out there and just and they're all organized. I mean, very organized. They have times that they go out, times they pretty much have a time clock they go by, and they work in what do they call it? And what do they call that? Shifts. Yeah. Shifts.
Well, me and Romeo made a video about it. It comes out at 9:30 Eastern time. So if y'all want to check it out then, but Matt Morris TV, he has a video about it. It's really interesting. I don't know if y'all want to check it out for a minute, but it's really good information on there on how it's working and what they're doing. Not only that, there's tons of people that are part of the government. Now, someone has access also that's in these chats, in Signal chats, to the ability to look at people's license plate and make sure it actually matches to federal license plates when it comes to
and I was
what's called
how we were doing
ICE. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that right there tells me it's like you said, it's really organized. Someone's putting a lot of money into this.
Yeah.
I look at it, I'm like, this is proof. This is an insurrection here that you're having
Oh,
in Minnesota.
Absolutely.
And especially since now this Waltz put in the National Guard. And now you know what they're doing? They're bringing donuts.
They're helping.
Yes.
Yeah, helping the riders. Yeah.
Not only that,
Aiding
the cops are involved in it too.
Yeah. Whenever there was they had set up an autonomous zone, kind of like a George Floyd thing. They had blocked the highway, and there was an ICE agents people and Border Patrol people coming in with their big FU vehicle, and people were all standing in front of it. And then as the camera pans, you can actually see that there's police officers standing in formation while these people did that, not dispersing the crowd at all, allowing them to block the vehicle, which not only puts, it just puts, there's danger. If you're a protester, you do not get physically involved. You stand on the street side, you wave your sign, you blow your stupid whistle. The moment you get in front of a vehicle, the moment you get within arm's reach of somebody conducting stuff that's going on, you are pretty much running a skill saw without a guard on it. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
John, FYI, I have to mute your mic while you're eating because it picks it up over the microphone and it sounds like a whole bunch of stuff going. That's why I'm doing that. So if you're not, while you're eating, I mute you. Yeah.
Cut through.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
They used to
I wasn't being
really loud.
Yeah. Do what now?
Well, sometimes just reaching into the bag was really loud.
Oh yeah. It's really it's like.
He thought he was sneaking them, but we knew the whole time.
No. I had to figure out what is that noise coming from. So I muted John while I was eating and it went away. I was like, oh, okay, they're
little pretzel sticks. That's my dinner for tonight.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Policy allows you.
Yeah. But so we're
quite a trend on X here lately. There's a lot of people on there that they like to post stuff to get the Trump supporters upset, but they shut off their comments where they just
that happens a lot.
Kind of gets under your skin, and then only their friends or people they mention can comment. I'm like, really? And
so
not just one. It's like they're all starting to do that.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't engage with that stuff because it's not hurt, But they the deal is it's something that concerns me is like if the Trump administration was going to invoke the Insurrection Act, they would have already done it at this point. They haven't, which means they're not going to. Muted Matt.
Well,
yeah, I agree with you. They would have done it whenever they took control of the airport.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, look, they would have done it by now if they're going to do it. And the reason he's not going to do it is because he's more concerned about optics. And I was like, what about the optics of what's going on? How you can't control one city in Minnesota.
Yeah, which greenlights other cities to do the exact same thing. And I said it before in other videos. We're like, so here goes Trump watching these stupid 3-letter networks, CNN, MSNBS, all these people, and worried about his poll numbers, and he's going to not do something and allow these criminals to win and then still lose the midterms. See, this is where Trump is really messing up really bad. His poll numbers are down because we're watching the weakness from within, not only with Pam Bondi's stupid, strongly worded letters, but the fact that Trump will not stick to his guns and do what needs to be done. And so, really.
I'm also going to say, I'm going to add something to this, some nuance. Maybe it's not Trump. Someone's convinced Trump not to do this. And I have a feeling it's probably Susie Wiles.
Oh, she's the devil. Yeah, she's like the evil character on Dennis the Menace. She even looks like one of those people from that back. And they got the same haircut from Dennis the Menace back in the black and white era. That's her. Yeah. Yeah. She's Mr. Wilson.
Well, I was hoping this time around that he wouldn't let people influence him as much as he did his first administration, because they were just literally backstabbing him left and right during his first administration. And it was like, geez, how could he not know that this is happening?
Same thing's happening now.
Right.
It's worse. I think it's worse. I think it's worse because it's worse, in my opinion, because he's already done this once. He should know better.
Yeah.
So what's happening now is like, fool me once. Okay, that was my ignorance. Fool me twice.
And then you have some of these Republicans in the House and Senate are talking about going with the Democrats to defund ICE.
Yeah.
You know, and it looks like we're going to have a government shutdown by the end of the month because of them wanting to defund ICE, and the Republicans want to also include it in the complete total money package to fund the government, and it's going to go to hell. They're going to have the government shutdown. Either it'll be a partial shutdown or a complete shutdown by January 31st.
Well, that's
and
right around the corner.
Yeah, that's perfect for the Democrats to be able to try to run a narrative to lower poll numbers even more, and then Trump still gives in. Never does the Insurrection Act. Everything in Minneapolis gets messed up.
Yeah,
they try to do anything like this in other cities. They double down, and it just and what a failure! What an absolute failure! If he would just pull all, he still got the American people would love to see these people deported. They want to see these people deported. You could take,
well, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. That strongly worded letter was the same thing that was actually in that tweet, or not tweet, but that Truth Social post he put up too. It's same
it took Pam Bondi and her people how many days to plagiarize Trump's Truth Social
actually,
post?
Her stuff came out first before the Truth Social post did. He just repeated it.
He needs to repeatedly fire her and get at this point in time, Merrick Garland would be better. Defend states that don't allow ICE.
Defund.
Defund states that don't allow your these. Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is we can't even get our Congress to do something like the SAVE Act. That's the problem. The Republicans won't even deal with the SAVE Act.
Or codify any of this freaking
stuff. Won't do any. All the executive orders go away. Everything goes back to status quo, except for now you've got a bunch of pissed off Democrats ready to run lawfare like you've never seen before, and all because Trump needs to get rid of Susie Wilds. He needs to fire Pam Bondi. He needs to do something with Kash Patel. This is just. I mean, Kash Patel would be better fitting over there with Dan Bongino and his stupid podcast. I think they would be doing great together. They could put donuts on certain parts of their body. I mean, for all I care.
Yeah, and I guess we'd all think a little different if we'd seen something actually happen.
Yeah.
It's just really, I would have thought by now we would have had all sorts of arrests. And I mean, I think Doge did more to stop stuff than any of these other.
Yeah, they got rid of that.
Yeah, that's the reason they had to get rid of it. It's too effective.
Man.
Yeah. So there's that. So that's where we're at right now. Wait a minute, I muted John because there's a lot of noise going on. What are you doing over there, John? Go ahead.
I'm doing nothing. There's no noise coming from here.
You're
yeah, there is. You got a super sensitive microphone on that thing. We can hear every like a pin drop across the room. Poor guy. And it's not your fault.
I think you had gas just a while ago, right?
No. I mean, your sinuses it's hard to breathe through your nose and your poor sinuses and stuff. It's like, oh, poor John. We feel bad for you, man. Pray for John, man. He's tough. He's a tough go-getter.
Hey, John, William.
Yeah.
Dave, have y'all been paying attention to what's going on with the tax situation with Turning Point USA?
Unfortunately, Candace Owens ruined that for me.
It's not Candace Owens that's doing videos about it. John, have you been paying attention to that?
I have been a little bit paying attention to it, but it's just been, it seems like too many people, too many conservatives are going too many different directions. We're starting to see people tearing off on the tariffs. You're starting to see people tearing off on all sorts of different things. Tariffs are good.
Well, my concern is the Supreme Court actually ruling against him able to do those tariffs. And then you're going to see a major collapse in Trump's economy at that point, because his economy is based off those tariffs. Because if they say, hey, these tariffs are actually unconstitutional, then at that point, what happens is everything reverts back to the way it was before he started doing the tariffs. And the money he made off those tariffs, he has to give back to those countries.
Yeah, but still just the same for decades. They have had us, they've had our necks in the noose of having to
Right,
pay tremendous amount of everything, and nobody said a word about that. In other words, this whole entire world has been turned upside down on this, and it hasn't been until this last 5 or 6, actually even longer, but still, it hasn't been until really since Trump won office the first time that America or the rest of the world started to pay attention, because it cannot go this way. He's got, in other words, what the Democrats and all the rest of the people are, whether we call them, I guess, Democrats,
Globalist.
Globalist is even a better word. They're going to end up. They do not want to relinquish their power. That's all there is to it. Because just like we saw Biden do, and everything's hushed up, they'll print out trillions of dollars. Just print it out. I still remember. I'm trying to think of who it was that said there was a 1,500-page bill getting ready to go through, and they dropped it on with only 2 days. In other words, only 2 days to be able to read it all. Who in their right mind could do that? And then I remember Jim Jordan was what he said. He stayed up all night long and he read every single page of it, and that's where he came up with for gay club in Medellin, Colombia, and then someplace else for I mean, it's this craziest things. And we now know what these are, is because the Somalians have let us know that with these NGOs, it could be anything. It could be something that's absolutely crazy but does not exist, or it could be something that actually exists but does not exist. I mean, if you look at what's happened with Minnesota, with all these daycare centers, there are none. I doubt very much if there is a single daycare center attached to the Somalians that is legit. I know they've got to have some daycare centers, but I doubt if they're legit. And this whole 9 yards.
That's the interesting thing. That's the reason they closed schools, because they decided to close those schools for a period of time. So whenever the federal government went in to do their audits and look at what was going on there, what happens now? They got people in those wannabe daycare centers now. Even though if it's only 1 or 2 or 3, or maybe it's people that's part of their family, it doesn't matter. They're still kids. They're still counted as part of that daycare center. And they're not in school anymore because they're out, because everybody's out protesting. And then go ahead.
Then you have to add on the transportation to take those kids to those centers and take them back home, plus take the mothers to take their children, that they need translators because they supposedly don't speak English. I mean, there's just so much that they continuously, and you have to stop and think of if you know this is only
clients,
right? In other words, the one thing that Trump has got to look at right now, if he can't do something with Minnesota, he's sure as hell ain't going to do anything with California. And we all know that California is the big dog at the lead, which is probably 10 times. I mean,
that's why even Minnesota needs to be the one that we set as an example.
We got to make an example out of Minnesota first. I mean, personally, right now, I don't want to see it, but it's got to happen. We are running out of time. Midterms are coming up. Next thing you know, we're going to turn around. It's going to be April, and then next thing you know, it's going to be July, and then it's going to be August, and all of a sudden, boom! Here we are in midterms, and we end up losing. We lose it all. All that he's going to be able to do for the next 2 years is fight. But what he's got to do is he's got to call in martial law. He's got to call it.
Yeah.
Martial law and take over. That's the only way we're going to win.
And that's the other thing. All the liberals are warning that he's going to throw in martial law, and exactly.
Guess what?
They're afraid.
So what? So what? In other words, martial law means that we are going to end up with a panel of 25 or 26 judges that are not either liberal or conservative or whatever. They are all from the military. They are military judges. They're going to decide what these other judges did. They're not going to say like, oh, well, we're going to pass this on. We can't do this because it's political. No, they take care of business.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's going to happen.
There's no way that we're going to. But John, 100%. There's no way that we're going to win this playing this game fairly. Because they're
No,
not.
you can't. No, there's not. There's nothing to it. I mean,
And
you have to look at your opponent.
And our end game of winning is just setting things back the way they should be. Not to control anybody, not to own anything, not to take your property, not to to use lawfare to do terrible things to people. We just want to set things back the way they were, and
Well,
really,
not so much
I would have
the way they were, but the way they should be.
the way they should be. Yeah, there you go. Well,
Before we
yeah,
started, there was a lot of things that weren't right.
we need a great reset and not a peerless victory at the end of it. That's how this should work out, because if we try to win this the right way, it's going to take too long. It sets up too many opportunities for these evil globalist lefties to get their hands on the control levers that hold everything in place. If they happen to lose, they throw the levers and everything collapses. That's a peerless victory. That won't do anybody any good. You might as well just have left it alone and let them do their agenda. I mean, a good example is this right here in Virginia. See, these people effed around and found out. Look at what Suzanne Bodnar is doing over here. What's her name? Stupid lady, CIA chick. Anyways, this is the CIA operative. That's the governor of Virginia now, is pushing a bill to eliminate mandatory minimum sentence for rape, manslaughter, child pornography, and other violent crimes. So they want the criminals to have the upper hand.
Well, did you see what they did to elections there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, made it where there's no. They pretty much turn them into California.
They can't do hand.
Yeah.
It's illegal to do hand counting ballots.
And no
Make it
ID.
illegal.
Yeah, it's
Illegal.
illegal.
Think about that.
Why would that be? That's
Because
crazy.
they want to use that machine. They want to be able to hack into that machine, or even have votes already on that machine before you start counting the other votes.
Yeah,
So-
we already know the machines can't be trusted.
Yeah.
By the way,
And
too,
so-
speaking about the machines, I
And
posted a video. I posted a video today that I just got the rest of the information about Dominion.
Yeah.
Dominion is and has never been an American company.
no.
Never has been. It is a Venezuelan company.
Yeah, exactly.
right.
But it's a
Venezuelan
Venezuelan company with multiple influences from other rival countries that would love to see this Western civilization come to a complete and total halt.
Yeah.
It was founded in Caracas, Venezuela, and in California, where they supposedly are an American company, quote unquote. They're not. That was nothing but a shadow. I guarantee you something's going to happen with Maduro. He's going to speak up. He's got to, because I'm sure he wants to live. He's relatively a young guy, but I don't think, like I said, he's going to end up, in prison for the rest of his life.
Well,
He wants a good life. He can give America what we want. Give us all that information on the rigs of the election in 2020, and just let us go roll with it. But until that happens,
that works if you have a system of functionality when it comes to justice. He can give all that information up, and they can squash every bit of it and just say,
Well,
"Fuck."
right.
here's
That's
the-
why we
here's
need
the
the
other
martial
thing.
law.
Here's the other thing. A Republican actually supposedly a Republican bought Dominion, right?
Right.
Right.
And now Democrats are warning that they're going to use Dominion to take the 2026 midterms and 2028 election. I'm like this. You're pretty much calling yourself out now. That's exactly what you did in 2020.
Yeah, are they saying the
2020,
machines aren't
buddy?
secure? They're
Yeah.
saying the machines aren't secure now.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
And the thing
and
is,
Yeah.
if you do the research on the Republican dude who bought that shit, he's worse than the Democrats. So they're actually, because none of the lawsuits, they gave Mike Lindell an ultimatum when it come to his what he's going on when it comes to court battles about Dominion voting machines and stuff. And they gave Mike Lindell an ultimatum to stop talking about it, and we'll drop all of the lawsuits. And he said, well, the problem is you bought this company, but you haven't fixed anything. They're still the same machines. So I have to speak out about it. It's my duty to America to keep people educated. These machines aren't secure. And so because of that, they're not dropping the lawsuits. They're going to keep on with that, which means that this nothing has changed. And so these Democrats need to be thankful those machines exist.
Yeah, man.
It's a mess,
Hey,
isn't
before
it?
we go, I really, Matt, you piqued my interest, and we went back off onto the other subject. You never finished what you were talking about with Turning Point.
Well, a video came out today from Wolf of Finance, right? I watched it, and it's interesting the information he's bringing out to the open about what's going on there. They gave him a cease desist letter about looking into their stuff and doing videos about it, and he's pretty much telling them, like, screw you, I'm going to keep making videos about it. But it's the letter they sent that actually made them go this way to look further into what they're doing with ballot harvesting. And it's interesting if you go watch the video. Yeah, because it looks like, see, the thing is, there's like six or seven different companies in Turning Point. Most of them are 503Cs, which means they're nonprofit. Okay,
I mean 501c3.
Yeah, 501c3. Yeah, that means they're not they're nonprofits. They don't get have to pay taxes. But there's a couple that are, I believe it's 504s, which they do, and that means they can do political stuff with that. But a lot of their political stuff is actually doing with the 503, and so, but the thing is, they're moving money around, and he's saying, look, when you're doing that, you're doing some illegal stuff going on here, and he explains it because he's an accountant, and it's a real interesting video when you look at it, and I'm saying, what's going on here? I would like to know more about what's going on with that. Now, Candace Owens is not covering that, as far as I know. So she's covering more of, like, I don't know, what's his name? Charlie Kirk is a time traveler, stuff like that.
That's weird stuff. Yeah, we've lost it. I've lost interest in all that. Candace Owens could have easily just stuck to what's actually real when it comes to what happened to Charlie Kirk and the cover up with the FBI, and she would have been on track. She could have stayed there in that area. But the only problem is you're going to run out of content because there's only so much you can talk about. And so she found it her best interest to keep going further and further down a rabbit hole and stringing people along, and possibly maybe even complicit in some kind of operation to skew and blur the lines of the actual complicity when it comes to the cover-ups in the FBI area. And that's very alarming to me. And for her to go that far into some weird stuff as many times as people have given her, like, hey, you're wrong about this. You're wrong. We've done the research, the offices of these people and the planes and all that. You're wrong. She should have addressed the problems and said, okay, but she went deeper into it. She even went as far as having some dude who blatantly lied about his past, his stolen valor, and said that he actually saw Erica Kirk at this Huachuca thing. And the problem that you run into is like, say for instance, if he actually did, it should have never been brought up because he doesn't have any real proof, and that's a really heavy thing to lay on somebody considered his sketchy past. And so I tapped out a while back. I was like, look, lady, whatever you bring as information now, I just can't take you seriously. You never even addressed the fact that you were wrong about some of this stuff. And when you did, like the beginning of all this, you said the only person that can make me stop is Erica Kirk or Charlie Kirk. And Erica Kirk said, can you please stop? And then she goes, yep, Erica Kirk asked me to stop lying. And I'm like, no, that's not what you said at all. And she's, I'm not lying, so I can keep going. I'm like, no, you lady. I don't know I don't want to go in the rabbit hole of who's at fault for all this stuff. I just know there's a cover up when it comes to the FBI. Sorry about that.
Well, the other interesting thing about the whole incident with the guy you're talking about, what is it called? Wachuca incident?
Wachuca. Damn.
Wachuca. Okay.
Wachuca is actually is a ninja coochie.
Yeah. But one of the people that was supposed to be there is a congressman from Arizona. The thing he was actually in Congress at the time. He was supposed to be actually at this place.
Matt, he was a time traveler too. That was a time.
No, he's teleporter.
I'm sorry, teleporter. Yes, I get those two confused.
Different, same timeline, just different place.
Right, teleporter. Yes.
He cloned himself so he could be in two places at once.
Yeah, that's what it is. There's a clone of that.
If you were a time traveler, you'd be able to do that because you just pick a different time.
Or a teleporter.
Go sideways. And then teleport.
Yeah. So there's that. I mean, that's just I mean, yeah. So, I got a video here. I have not watched this video, but it has something to do with that dude who got unalived because he had a firearm at the
this is that guy. This is that representative. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't.
That's
what I'm talking about.
That's not him though. The one that got shot. That ain't him.
No. I know
No,
this has to do with that. This has to do with that.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's going to talk about the signal chat stuff. So let's see what this is all about. This would be quite interesting.
You know, yesterday we had the young man, 13-year-old, handcuffed by ICE, his father taken away. I arrived there as soon as I could. I talked to some of the family members. It's devastating. And I don't know, just going home and talking to my kids about what happened and how this is affecting our community. These are terrible times, but we will get through it. We'll get stronger for it, and we will look out for one another. Before coming to the state legislature, I'm a community organizer at heart, and that's part of what I'm trying to bring to the legislature. I'm helping to lead the community response, rapid response network that we have, given any ICE situations. I have a couple cards here. I'm willing to stop to stay around and talk with anybody that wants any more information. We've got a couple groups on the app Signal that we would love for you to join. Whether or not you want to be a part of the Resistance Network, I fully understand you may not be comfortable with that, but you can help us in a lot of ways by sending an alert that if you see any suspicious vehicles, any traffic, if you know of anybody that is being targeted, that's being detained, we have resources immediately available that we can send to you, send to their family, get them legal help the families if they need food, if people are afraid to leave their homes to get food. We're working with the food shelves to try to figure out a way to deliver groceries. I know yesterday apartment complexes needed their parking lots plowed and people were being taken as they were moving their cars. We can move your car for you. Just please, like anything, small, large, we are here for you. And we will stand with you. We will stand for you.
Okay, so who pays for all that? Who pays legal help? Who pays for all the services? How does that even a thing? Now, who is this guy?
Scroll down on that. Is that what's the name of that guy right there that posted that?
This is Libs of TikTok.
Libs of TikTok, yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to figure out.
They're on X right now. The guy that posted.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, really? Because
I think it's. I'm looking to see, but I just know that I think that's the guy who used to work. Was that one of the ones who used to work for Tim Walz?
I think so, but I think he's a representative, and I thought it said in the title. But anyway, that's the same guy that was posting all that. Go scroll down once. Scroll down.
Oh, yeah, it's my timeline.
Not the same.
It won't show anything. It's just circling right now. I don't know. Okay, here we go. It says it doesn't show. It's got, but there's the memes of this guy. Yeah. This is why I know the American people are still on. We're still on the right side of things. But I don't know who that guy is exactly. But you could. But that's just a good indication of how deeply entwined this network is when it comes to protecting illegals. And no American gets this kind of treatment for some reason at all, not one bit soever. And you can bet the reason why they're so concerned about keeping these Somalis in and around this area and showing support is because they owe it to them. They owe it. They owe it to these Somalis because they cut a deal with these people. They said, "Look, you vote for us, we give you money. We represent you. We will live. We are for you. Right. We are not for." That's why Ilhan Omar says, I'm here to represent Somalia, not America, because this is the promise they made. And I gotta hand it to these Democrats. Damn, promises made, promises kept. I mean, we can't get that. We can't get that. You know, we you know, you had a base, a massive base of Americans who have spent time away from their families, working online day in and day out, researching, doing the digs, making content, defending somebody to help them get them into office and other people so that we could probably helpfully work for America. And we can't even get half of that representation. That is absolutely, that makes a man really downtrodden when you sit and think about that. I mean, that's just, but there's only one upside to the thing. And I'm going to show you real quick. I've got one thing I want to share with you guys as an upside.
I did find that guy, by the way.
Who is that?
That's doing all the, which was, he got into the Signal chat group, infiltrated, and started screenshotting and going out. And
yeah, his name is Gigsby or something like that.
Higby, yeah.
Higby, yeah.
Ham Higby. And then he actually has where he went out on the street and they identified him as a ICE vehicle and gave him a hard time so forth. So.
Yeah, I showed that video in my on the video me and Romeo did. It comes out at 9:30, so just go check it out if you want to check it out. But
American
Patriots. American Patriots. They treated them like crap. They thought they were ICE agents when they weren't.
Yeah. Well, so the upside to all this is like we are dealing with people that have a 60 IQ. And it's going to be really hard to get everybody to move in the right direction. So there's still a fighting chance for America. Here's a good example of this.
So I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like it's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American, but it's like a cultural fusion. It's kind of like the bananas and rice. You know, people don't really see like, you know, it's you know, people don't think, oh, you can eat bananas with rice, but that's what it's like to be Somali and American. It's like that combination of banana and rice, but you're gonna get what I mean.
That's not AI.
That's what happens when your mommy and daddy are cousins. Okay, that's what happens.
Or brother, they'll do brother and sister. I mean, it's crazy.
Stormbringer picked up on the same thing as it was. She a Valley girl? I mean, it's like
no. It's what she's doing is that is not how she sounds in real life at all. One bit.
Supposedly, she got brain damage too. Supposedly,
is that her playing into the white?
She was not mocking white people in that video at the same time. That was what she was doing. That's exactly what she was doing. She knew what it was. She heard like, you know, white girls talk, and so she said, "This is how I need to sound. I don't want to sound like Somali. I want to sound as American as possible." So this is like their version of how men dress up as women. You know, whenever a man goes trans, he has to dress himself up like a hybrid clown with tits all sticking out. This is how women are to trans people, and so this is how white girls are to Somalis, and basically that was how she thought white people talked. And this premise of this is that bandage on her head is supposedly an ICE inflicted injury a few days prior to that, which I call bullshit completely. I think that this is all bullshit. I guarantee you could take that bandage off and there's nothing there. Nothing, nada, zero. There's not even a scar there. And so, you know, basically that's why if you ever see these memes with her in it with Juicy Smollett, because that's what you've got here. And she's been given a big microphone, and she's the Greta Thunberg of Somali people, if you really want to get to the bottom of that. But the problem we're going to run into is we do have the Mockingbird media who's going to tote that water for these people, much like Harmet Dillon has to tote the fucking water for AG Pam Bondi, because Pam Bondi does nothing, and Harmet Dillon is out there trying her best. She's like, see, her back is getting sore too, guys. I'm telling you right now, that's just, yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
All right.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, guys, John's new channel, the Swamp Channel.
Yeah, we're still working on John. He's We got to get him some. We're going to. I'm going to have to. Well, John needs to learn how to edit. We're going to get you right. You do good stuff, but we got to get you to. We got to really get your editing game up a little bit there. That would help your channel out a lot. That's a lot of that, you know. But we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Yeah. Pray for John too. By the way, he's dealing with a lot. He's a good guy.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, I guess that's it for the evening. We made an hour.
Thank you. We need peace. Thank you, Stormbringer. Thank you, my beautiful wife. Yeah, and John and Matt and everybody else out there. Good people, you guys are.
We need peace. I didn't see Nancy tonight. So,
Oh, Michigan Filter came in.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, and Jarmy Vicious, thank you for being here. If you're still in here hanging out, thank you very, very, very much. Yeah.
All right. All right, we're out of here.